To transpose a matrix, you need to write its rows as columns in the transposed matrix. The teacher whispered to me while I was sitting for an important exam in advanced mathematics. He entered the classroom and walked subtly between the rows. I had seen this teacher before. I referred to him as Sensei, not really knowing his name. He was older, but had such a peculiar way of looking at me. He approached only me, and for the following 2 weeks, he would gaze at me, greet me so kindly, and address me in a sweet manner. In Japan, we don't have such familiarity between teachers and students as you would know it. Here, it's different. In this life, the most important thing is not to rush to conclusions, Sensei constantly told me. My classmate said she never noticed him, but after hearing my stories, she said he must be in love with me, which is why he helped me so much. I felt uneasy about it because, after all, he was significantly older, and I was just a student in my final year. But I must admit, I liked him for his charisma and that alluring voice of his. I didn't want any of it, but I still ended up getting the highest score on the math exam. Sensei had given me the right hint. His phrase, "In this life, the most important thing is not to rush to conclusions," kept spinning in my head. What could it possibly mean? He would appear at school, then disappear. A couple of times, he even brought lunch boxes for me during lunchtime. He simply left them on my desk, but I knew it was him. I stopped telling my friends about him because I was ashamed of the fact that I also had feelings for him. Finally, after much contemplation, I decided to have a chat with him, maybe find out more about him. I brought fruits and juice to school, intending to take them as a token of gratitude to his office, but he wasn't there. I searched all the math classrooms, and it felt like he'd never been at the school at all. I desperately wanted to find him, to hand him the fruits and juice and just look into his eyes. That's when I decided to go to his house. I managed to find his address in an old book in the manager's office. He had his own small personal file. From there, I learned that he'd been working at my school for a long time. It was strange that not many people saw him, and he didn't teach lessons in the usual manner like other teachers. Continuing the story, I arrived at the designated address, and a woman opened the door. She was surprised when I asked about Sensei. She said she'd been living in this house with her daughter for many years and didn't know any man. I returned to school that evening, hoping to find another address, to dig through other folders. I managed to bypass the security guards and sneak into the school. The principal's office had its lights on, but I promised myself to be careful. I went downstairs to the archive. I knew where the documents were kept because I helped move those folders once. I found another document, using a flashlight. I saw his photo and opened the page. What? He's dead? How is that possible? Back in 2019? So, I was talking to a ghost? I asked myself. My legs trembled from this realization. It all made sense. No one had seen him. He roamed the school whenever he wanted and talked to whomever he pleased. So, he chose me? The thought frightened me even more. Then suddenly, I heard footsteps. Damn it, it was the headmistress. I turned off my flashlight, but it was too late. Light was already shining on my face. I greeted her with a bow and apologized to the principal, but the flashlight was set aside, and I saw the sensei right in front of me. Ah! I screamed and ran in the opposite direction. In the darkness, I didn't see the shelf with files right in front of me, and I tripped over, falling right onto it. Folders and files rained down on me, and I was pinned underneath them. I couldn't get up, and Sensei approached me and took my hand. "Please don't take my soul! I beg you!" I cried with tears streaming down my face. All he said was, "In this life, the most important thing is not to rush to conclusions." It terrified me even more. I closed my eyes, and he held my hand again. I screamed, and a voice said, "Akari, are you okay?" I opened my eyes and saw that it was the principal. Do you see him too? Do you see Sensei?" She glanced at him, and I felt relieved. "First, we'll get you out of here, and then we'll tell you everything." Sensei, as it turned out, used to work in the school as a teacher, then as a principal, and then he disappeared without a trace, and they listed him as deceased. But he returned home to his daughter, who's also my principal. He has Alzheimer's disease. It's incurable. The only things he remembers are the way to this school and advanced mathematics. When he's here, he feels a little better. That's why he comes here, although not always under my supervision. I'm sorry that he frightened you like that. However, you will have to be held accountable for breaking the rules during non-school hours and for entering the document archive, the principal said. According to her explanation, I strongly reminded Sensei of his best student, which is why he kept gravitating towards me. And here I was, thinking, have you ever met people with schizophrenia? But what if you have a close relative? Well, like my twin. Like my sister, Anna. My name is Jenna, and every year I went to visit her in an abandoned corner of the city. This is a multi-story dispensary which was called a ghost town because allegedly, whoever went there stayed there forever. But that only applies to the patients. Did you take the pills with you? Yeah, thanks, Mom. The lasagna was amazing. Only you and our family eat lasagna with jam. I love it. Okay, I'll drop by Anna's and go straight home. Mom passed the lasagna with the jam for Anna. She loved it as much as I do. All the way there, I listened to the song, Jenna, Jenna, you and I are one. Jenna, Jenna, we're together against the world. Anna wrote it. Memories immediately arose in my head when she was just starting to get sick. At first, it was little things, like absent-mindedness. Anna went to the mirror and wrote my name there. Then she used to take my underwear, and I usually found it in a pan in the kitchen. Then she wanted to flood the house. I often lay on her knees with my head as she sang me that song, tightly clutching a jar of clonazepam, Anna's seizure medication, in my hands. After that, she became like a vegetable and slept. I was the only one who wasn't afraid of being diagnosed with schizophrenia. At the hospital, all the staff knew me there. I waved my hand to them and confidently walked to room number 43. Anna, hello. I see you messed up your room again. I have a suite for you. Would you like it? I showed her the lasagna and Anna faintly smiled. I already knew. I found in her hand the pills she had not taken and hid them in my pocket. Then I put on her the same yellow dress with flowers instead of a hospital gown. We loved dressing up the same way. Anna ate the lasagna and looked at me, then held out the last piece of lasagna with jam. I couldn't resist. I ate it, and Anna began to sing my favorite song. Jenna, Jenna, you and I are one. I suddenly felt so sleepy. I lay down on her lap and must have fell asleep. I woke up from the fact that the nurse shook me, calling me Anna. Why was she calling me Anna? The nurse held my hand and led me down the hallway. I was so dizzy and nauseous. I denied that I was Anna, but they didn't believe me. I looked in my pockets for the pills and couldn't find them. Strange, I put them there, in my right pocket. Where were they? Then the nurse showed them to me. It's empty. You drank everything. It's amazing that you woke up 2 days later. We were thinking of resuscitating you. In what sense? I didn't take any medicine. None, especially hers. And what does 2 days mean? They didn't answer my questions and took me to see a doctor. I wanted to get up, but 2 orderlies came up behind me, pulled me out of the office by force, put me in a ward, and threw dinner on a tray on the floor. I knocked and beat the door, but all in vain. But if I was here, does that mean that Anna's home? Surely Mother will bring her back, which means that she'll prove that we were mixed up. So I decided to wait. I don't know how much time passed, but then another nurse came in and asked what I was waiting for. Jenna, is that you? Yes, it's me. Please get me out of here. Anna must have taken my pass and walked out. Of course, dear. I understand everything. Just answer one question, please. How can I believe that you are Jenna now and not Anna? What is there to check? I'm not sick. Then I saw my mother out of the corner of my eye in the hallway. I pushed the nurse away and ran out of the board with cottony legs and ran to the waiting room. Mom, it's me. It's me, Jenna. Mom! I saw my mother come around the corner. Mom! I yelled, and my mom stopped. I ran up to her and hugged her tightly. Mom, don't you recognize me? It's me, Jenna. Don't you? Mom looked strange, and I suddenly felt dizzy at that moment. I wanted to sleep so much. Only later did I realize that my mother had given me some kind of injection in my hand and said, Sorry, daughter. I'm so sorry. I'll make more lasagna with jam, just the way you like it. Half conscious, I held her hand and begged her to take me with her. Then her image became fuzzy. Then Anna was standing in front of me, smiling. Strange images came to my head. Don't you understand? I didn't run away. I've been here with you all this time. Mom, what is she talking about? The doctor ran up and examined my pupils. When I came to, I was lying on the bed in Anna's room. It was so strange. On her wall hung drawings that I drew at home, a birthday card for my mother that I made, and the nurse was sitting next to me again. She asked again who I was, then came over, and my hands were cuffed to the bed. I'm sorry, Jenna, I have to tie you down. When Anna comes, you become aggressive. I don't understand what you mean. The horror made me feel sick again, and the nurse said just terrible things. That in fact, I never had a twin sister, and I'm both Anna and Jenna. You're the same in different images. You still love lasagna with jam. You sing the song, Jenna, Jenna. No, shut up! I am healthy. I came here on my own. Yes, by taxi, you said. And that along the way you listened to the song, and that you have lasagna in the container, and that you put Anna in the same dress as you. Yellow, with flowers. My hands and lips were trembling. Am I really her? Really? Am I Anna? Jenna, Jenna, you and I are one. Jenna, Jenna, we're together against the world.